Hey guys, and welcome back to Crime Cafe. I'm so excited to have you here. Today I'm bringing you another Psycho Sunday, and this is a sick one. This is a sick couple. So I'm going to get right into it. I don't want to talk too much here at the beginning because I am not feeling too well. My throat is scratchy and hurts a little bit, so we're going to get through this. Might talk a little bit quicker, but we're going to get into it. So go grab your cup of coffee or whatever it is you want to drink and come on and join me. Today we're going to be talking about a couple named Dmitry and Natalia Bakshev. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. It's a Russian name. And a little backstory on Dmitry. He was born in Russia in 1982, and shortly after he was born, he was placed into an orphanage. His birth mom didn't want to give her baby up for adoption, but she just could not care for a child, so she didn't have a choice but to put him up for adoption. He was there until he was 3 years old, and then he got adopted by a couple. He was always a shy kid, kept to himself, didn't make friends easily, very, very much a loner, which I feel like you hear that a lot, and like, I'm a loner, so I don't know. It's like, when he was 15 years old, his adoptive mother was diagnosed with cancer, and she had passed away. And his adoptive father got really mean to him afterwards. It seemed like it was the mom who really wanted him in the first place, and his adoptive father just didn't really want to be a father anymore, and he actually kicked him out of the house. He's 15 years old, getting kicked out of his house. He doesn't have anything, no place to go. He doesn't really have any friends or anything like that, so he needs a place to stay because he's on the streets. So he decides to steal a car and rob a store. He tries to take off, he ends up getting caught, and he gets sent to prison. And while he was there, he just really realized that he didn't have anyone. No one came to see him, and no one wrote to him. He was alone in this world, and that just really, really got to him. After he gets released from prison, he finds a good construction job. He's getting paid good money. He has a place to live. He's still socially distant from everyone. He's a loner. He's very socially awkward, so he still doesn't have any friends. But he did like to hang around a local bar. He didn't drink, actually, but he liked to hang around drunk people. Maybe it made him feel more comfortable. I'm not sure what that was about, but I guess it's a little less intimidating if you're a shyer person. It's a little less intimidating when you know people are not of the right mind. Maybe? I don't know. It was at the bar that he met his future wife, Natalia. Natalia was older than him, and she was born in 1975. She was raised by her mom, a single mom, until she passed away, and then her grandmother finished raising her. She went to medical school and became a nurse. She often talked about being a doctor. She never pursued being a doctor, but she was a senior nurse at a military aviation school. And she actually met her first husband there. And when she was married to her first husband, she did have a son at the age of 23. But her husband passed away shortly after they had their son. She had a really hard time handling this, so she coped by drinking a lot, and she mixed drugs in with the alcohol. She wasn't able to cope with it very well at all. She actually checked herself into a mental facility, and she told the doctors over and over again that there was something wrong with her, that she didn't feel right, and they ran tests on her, but nothing came back. Even psychologists checked her out, and they all thought that she was completely fine. So she's 7 years older than Dmitry, but they meet, and age does not matter, and they fall in love. He ends up moving into her home, and her son is residing with them for a little while. They get married after just a couple years of being together, and her son ends up moving out. I'm not exactly sure where he goes, but he ends up moving out because he's actually embarrassed of his mom's drinking, because it's just getting completely out of hand, and she doesn't have a handle on her life. She doesn't have a handle on their home. The house is becoming a mess. Like, no one is taking care of anything, and It just was not a good place to live at all. Flash forward to September 11th, 2017. There is a construction crew working on a street, and they actually see a cell phone on the side of the road. They go and pick it up, and they're curious. It wasn't locked, so they were able to get into it, and they see pictures of a man with what looks to be human parts in his mouth, and then multiple pictures of just disturbing things that look to be like human remains, and they get extremely concerned and they call the police. So the police come, they take the phone, and they see that this man in these pictures are posing with a woman's severed head, and they run the information in the phone to find out that it was Dimitri's phone. So the police end up bringing Dimitri and his wife in for questioning, and she states that she actually had Dimitri's phone, and she was walking home one day, she saw a dead body, and she took pictures of the dead body. Apparently she didn't exactly know the pictures that were on the phone, because it was more than just a dead body. He had body parts in his mouth, but maybe she thought that was a good excuse and she'd get away with it. So the authorities a warrant to search their home. They also searched Natalia's workplace. So on September 12th, the police went and found the dismembered body of a woman located in Natalia's workplace, which is also where they are residing at the time, because it's a military academy. So they are officially arrested at this time. They end up searching the home, and they find tons of just horrible, horrible things. I'm gonna post some pictures. A lot of them are blanked out, but if you're queasy, don't look at them. I mean, if you're queasy, you probably wouldn't be watching this in the first place. But there's some really sick things that they did to these poor people. As they're searching the house, they notice that this couple are complete hoarders. There's stuff everywhere. There's paperwork and just items of things scattered around the house. It's a complete disaster, a complete mess. They are sifting through this dump, and they find some really disturbing things. They found 10 different cell phones in a drawer. They found a stack of photos of so many different people, pictures of them with people alive, pictures of them with people not alive, and one of the photos was a man's head. It was presented like a dinner on a silver platter with oranges around it, and he had olives in his eye sockets, and a lemon was on his nose, and that picture was dated from December of 1999. They searched the fridge, and there is multiple jars, like mason jars, like you're pickling, you know how people pickle vegetables and stuff, but this was pickled body parts. They found a recipe book of different recipes for cannibalism and how to cook different things with human parts, and this looked to be written in Natalia's handwriting, which later it was confirmed that it was her. They found a lot of women's hair, what looked to be like wigs, lying around everywhere, but they weren't wigs at all. They were actually people who have been scalped, women that have been scalped, and it was the top of their head with the hair attached to it. They found 7 packs of frozen body parts, and they found a video, and it was like a tutorial on how to dismember human beings. So they questioned Natalia first. They were both arrested, and they questioned her, and they showed her pictures of these people that, they had taken photos with, and she came out and said that it was around 30 people that they had killed, and they ate. They just straight up ate them. And she was able to give some names that actually matched missing persons. Dimitri, when he was questioned, he actually shared more. He was he acted like he was proud proud of the work that he did. He was proud of the way that they lived their lives, and he wasn't too hesitant to talk about it. He told the police that he got a lot of their victims from dating sites. They would pretend to be single and, looking for a date, or they would pretend to be a couple who, wanted someone else to join in with them, and that's how they would get their victims. The dismembered woman that they found in Natalia's workplace, he told the police that it was like any other time where they, went for someone from a dating site and they were at the bar and having drinks, and Natalia got extremely jealous of this woman, and she just didn't like how they were acting together, and she thought that Dimitri genuinely liked her, and she had an issue with it. So she let Dimitri know that she didn't like what was going on, and he just pulled out a knife and stabbed her. Like, it was not a big deal at all. He just killed her. And that was the woman that they took pictures with. Natalia tried to get off by saying that she had mental health issues, that she was in a psych ward before, and she wanted to plead insanity, but that did not work because they had doctors and psychiatrists perform tests on her, check her out, and they said that she was perfectly fit to stand trial. Natalia was then convicted in February of 2019. The court found her guilty of incitement to murder, and she was sentenced to 10 years in a penal colony and 1.5 years in prison. Natalia appealed the decision, but they said, no, this is what you're getting. And I mean, what? What? She got nothing. She got nothing. For completely admitting to killing 30 people and eating them. Dimitri, he was sentenced to 12 years. 12 years and 2 months in maximum security prison. 12 years. Pictures. Confessions. A body. 12 years. I mean, that's mind-blowing to me. On February 16th, 2020, Dimitri ended up actually passing away in prison from untreated type 1 diabetes. So, he doesn't get to live out his sentencing and then walk free like Natalia does. 10 years in a penal colony and 1.5 years in prison for eating 30 people. Now, there are a lot of theories surrounding this case about other people being involved, about how Dimitri and Natalia couldn't have, they weren't even together in 1999, and they couldn't have killed all these people together. So there was a lot of theories and speculation that it was more of a cannibal ring than just the two of them. They just took the fall for that many people, and I mean, it wasn't that far of a fall. So yeah, I don't agree with the sentencing at all. It is the sentencing was in Russia, so it is different than the United States, but that's mind-blowing to me. And yeah, I would love to know your thoughts on today's case, on their sentencing, on just anything about them. If you have any suggestions for any cases, videos that you would like to see, just leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear them and do them. But that is it for today. I am so happy that you joined me, and I will see you soon. Bye.